Welcome back to Bronze League Heroes. With double the heroes, it's a 2v2 on Snowy Mesa. Let's go ahead and introduce. From the red team in the north, double Terran, it is Burro Fuego and best name ever. Whereas in the south, it is IGMP. IG is going to be the easy way to say it. And not moving his overlord, it is Shadow Dragon, going with the hatchery on 14 strats. So what a classic. On the other side, the Terrans building up their barracks. Now, Snowy Mesa is a little bit interesting. It's one of the more defensible early on 2v2 maps. You have the rock towers you can take down to rock out any units that try to come through the... try to come through on the ground. Of course, this is very effective against things like Zerglings. But you also have a great vulnerability later on to air units with your main base being exposed to the more dangerous parts of the map. We'll have to see. The Overlord's now finally being sent out. The first one on a pilgrimage. A pool is pinged out. Shadow Dragon is pinging it himself. I guess he's just trying to give his teammate a heads up that he did build a spawning pool, and he does know how to build units, so good for him. Of course, Burro Fuego is going for the Quad Rex, whereas his teammate seems more interested in tech. He's got it. Well, oh, never. I take it back. He has 2 barracks as well. So just lots of racks on racks. Racks of racks. How, Nope. I didn't try it. Nothing. Nobody. Just. Can we go back 5 seconds? Lots of pings. Why are there so many pings? Why are you pinging? Best name ever sent out 3 pings there. You can't actually go up that way. That's a double tier cliff. The jetpacks can't jump that high. They don't have their certifications. Couple of you got that. More pings. Lots of pings on both sides. More pings than actions in some cases, as the APMs are hovering around 40 to 80 on the outside here. Dozens of APM on either side. Blazing fast gameplay, as this probe will assassinate the SCV. First blood goes to a probe. We're already off to a strong start. Still not realizing he can get the Reapers up this way, but the Mothership Core and the Queen will team up. The Zerglings will bypass. I'm not sure. Nope. Okay. It's like, what are the Zerglings attacking? That doesn't sound like a great idea. Are there any Overlords in place to see this? I mean, technically. But are there enough units to repel it? That's a lot of Marines. There are several Reapers to complement them. Looks like nobody knows how to build a factory. There is... The only Tier 2 tech building is the Stargate out of our Protoss hero IG here. But the Reapers will jump in. There is no Zergling speed on the way. The classic Lair, Evo Chamber, Roach Warren, second gas before anything that will keep you alive play. A very bold and greedy move. I'm not sure if his evolution will ever be complete. God, I hate words. But the Marines are waiting for their moment. The longer they wait, the more energy the Mothership Core will have. I'm not entirely sure what they're waiting for. Orders from command are slow in coming. He steps a little bit further forward. He's going for the Mothership Core. The core of all the defense. It will go down. Not a single overcharge. He bypasses the pylons, going straight for the throne. The Nexus is under fire, and pretty soon he will have a chance at winning Worlds. Alright, the Nexus is about to fall. There will be no expansion, but he does have a Stargate, which has built-in Oracle. The Reaper, which is here for a second. Well, for some reason. We'll be in position to scout it, but I'm not sure if there will be any reaction. I don't think there are any engineering bays, but there are still plenty of Marines. Well. Ping ping comes out. The Oracle loses inspiration. The Marines will attempt to take it out. Unfortunately, they'll be trapped in a prison of his teammates' design. and not be able to chase it down, which will allow the Oracle to actually kill some SCVs here from Best Name Ever if he decides to focus on any of them. It appears the Oracle did not take his Adderall this morning. His focus is less than razor sharp. 3 non-speed Zerglings passing by 4 unupgraded Marines with a non-aggression pact, but the pact has been broken as the Lings are cutting off reinforcements. I'm not sure what happened to the first set of Marines here, but there are plenty more where that came from. Another mothership core has been built. This one shouldn't be sniped off as easy. Will the overcharge come out? Unfortunately, that pylon, he's going for the Nexus. The overcharge is just chewing away his Marines. He's still going for the Nexus. The pylon has 6 kills, 7 kills. The pylon is just the real MVP in this game so far. The pylon gets double-digit kills in a single overcharge. The Nexus brought low, but not brought down. The Oracle back in for more 8 kills now, continuing to do the damage, and the Terrans have been repulsed. Shadow Dragon and IG finding themselves in a pretty comfortable situation. 110 versus just around 90 combined supply. Double engineering bay, no upgrades yet. It does not seem either of these Terran players have figured out what a factory is. Hopefully, they're able to whip out their Prima strategy guides in time and learn what the next building they can build is. But we do have an orbital on the way, no planetary yet. But it is looking grim for Team Terran, at least for now. The Marines are pinged out. A handful. Stim and combat shields are on the way. Burro Fuego, not quite on top of that yet. He's got Marines strewn all throughout. He needs to consolidate his forces in order to bring a more united front. Alright, plenty of Adepts as well. Adepts pretty well known and well documented their effectiveness against Marines in general. Another Stargate on the way. He's built 2 Void Rays. There's more where that came from. Shadow Dragon decides expanding to this bottom left corner is his best option. The drone on the journey of a lifetime. But then we'll settle down, maybe pop out some eggs, build some drones of its own, and maybe they, in good time, can travel the snowy mesa and be a hatchery of their own someday. The circle of life. 1-1 on the way. Still no a factory has completed for Burro Fuego. Still nothing here from Best Name Ever. Thank you, Zerg Republic. But after that initial aggression, a couple Marine scout forces, everybody's decided to back off. It's still a significant supply lead for our southern team, Shadow Dragon and IG, against the Terrans. Void Rays strewn throughout the base. Still a squadron of Reapers. A murder of Reapers. We'll move out. 5 Reapers is enough to one-shot workers. It's a murder of Reapers. I've declared it at 5. Barracks and a factory at the 9-minute mark. He planted the seed years ago, and that seed is growing up into a beautiful tech tree. Bit underwhelming. Adrenal Glands is already on the way. A hive has been completed. Shadow Dragon has 37 drones, a hive, plus 2 ranged attack, and 1 swarm host, as is customary to make that swarm host when you try to A-click, but you have your hatchery selected. Everybody you've seen it in pro games, all right? There's always the accidental swarm host. And then you try to use it, too. It's like, oh, I have a swarm host, I should use it for swarm host-related activities. But you fucked up, all right? I'm not sure. The scans are coming out. They get a beat on the army, and most importantly, the death host. More scans. He will scan the same army again. Oh no, the main. The pings. We'll look closely. Is there combat shields on the way? Burro Fuego has not upgraded Stim. He has not upgraded combat shields. In fact, he hasn't upgraded anything yet. He's got concussive shells and +1 attack on the way. Let's be honest here. It's kind of like giving a kid a lightsaber. If he had Stim, it would probably hurt him more than the enemy. The rocks will be taken down. Or at least brought low. As a potential tactical move for later on. Alright. The Marines are patrolling throughout the main. Just 3 of them, the 3 Musketeers. They don't take orders from nobody. Mostly because their dad is really important. Everybody's kind of annoyed, but like they're not hurting anybody yet, so we don't have to worry about it. Alright, some Zerglings out on the map. They have 0/0 upgrades, but they do have adrenal glands. They have that going for them. This was scouted out by the Overlord. He's going for the command center. Will the Terrans respond? Best name ever. The adrenal glands, their cracklings rip through. Even without their upgrades, they attack so quickly. At the same time, the murder of Reapers comes down. The Void Rays will move to defend. The Lings are on point. And the murder will be murdered. He gets shut down. Neural Parasite is on the way. He already has pathogen glands, and this infestor is going to be so decked out. There are a grand total of 2... I'm not sure where the other infestor is. Where is it? Under... Ah! I found it. That skin looks so legit. Add more spikes to everything. The Swarm Host one looks ridiculous, but... oh, going in for the backstab again. Another destruction of a building command center. It's still only 4 bases total. There are 5 bases for the southern team. But he will rebuild, undeterred. The supply is 244 versus 230 combined. The upgrades, so many: glial reconstitution, pneumatized carapace, burrow, adrenal glands, metabolic boost, pathogen glands, Zerg missile attacks level 2, Zerg ground carapace level 1, neural parasite, and evolved muscular augments. Why isn't it just called muscular augments, not evolved muscular augments? That seems like redundantly redundant. With this base, they're going to be focusing on it, but that's quite a Terran bio ball. The spine crawlers will work forward. The Marines will stim in and actually focus on the spines, thankfully. One was thrown off the side. Alright. A handful of tanks will siege. There are lurkers. The Lings will try to close the distance, and they will for a very short time. The Oracle actually moving in, looking for an opportunity. I don't think that Oracle has seen any action in the last 10 minutes. Will they find an option? He's just staring at it. If we go to the IG Action Cam, the IG Action Cam brought to you by Jimmy John's. It's a weird advertising relationship. He continues. He has 2,780 minerals, 1,800 gas, but most importantly, he has 1 Oracle. Nothing is more important. Not even building twice the size of his army. Alright. A Baneling... You know, this seems a little counterproductive because when the lurkers start firing... Is he on hold fire? No, he's not. When the lurkers start firing, he's gonna scan and therefore see and possibly kill all of the Banelings. So, this seems a bit of a conflict of interest here. With the lurker Baneling mine, but we'll just have to see how it plays out. More swarm hosts have been produced. He's going to start working his way forward. The locusts are launched from quite a distance. And a marauder. A marauder. 2 marauders will be slaughtered by that about 30 supply of locusts. Alright. The lurkers are in position. The Baneling mines are also in position. For unknown reasons. If he was up against, like, a Protoss with Charge Loss, that might be pretty cool. But another round of Locust comes in. Storm is complete on the Templar. The action starts to heat up. The scan obliterates the Banelings and the Lurkers. The supplies are starting to drop. These Terran Bio Balls are devastating. Where is he? IG, he's going for the snipes! The Templar are all dying! 2 massive storms, though! Most of their brothers fell. And still, it seems like the rest will. If those storms had connected, this could be entirely different. But Fungals, as well as some Locusts, will they be able to hold on? Are there any more Templar on the field? It's not looking like it. The Swarm Hosts are trying to make their way across. Shadow Dragon with his Infestors in no man's land. A Fungal on this army could be so juicy. And he... well... that's less juicy. I don't... The Terrans will retreat despite potentially picking up a critical advantage. The Oracle comes back in, racking up more kills. 5,000 minerals, 1,200 gas. But 1 Oracle. And this Oracle will win the game. That is the challenge. That is his curse. The Oracle continues to rack up kills. Like he racks up money. And it's going in for more. It's got full energy. 21. The Executor Oracle. 23 kills. 25. 7. And finally, the SCVs will run. And IG will go back to his day job. Those Overseers may be overstepping. The Oracle comes back in for another pass. This is everything to him. It's bruised. Can he make it to 30? He's in the danger zone. He's just staring at it. Can he get out? Meanwhile, the Zerg army is engaging. Most importantly, the Oracle, though. The Locusts, I mean... They just don't seem to be breaking through. The Oracle died. The chances are... wait! No, that's a different Oracle. Without the Oracle, how will they ever defend? Probably like this. Now that the Oracle has died, he died so that he may free the massive 100... I don't believe that. 100 APM of IG to more purposeful purpose. He could actually use his storms. He could warp in Adepts. He could give his teammate money with which he could actually use to spend and build units. Let's pretend like that'll happen. The Swarm Hosts. They've been dragged into a corner. There is no escape. They will burrow. But it is futile. But the Zerglings are coming up. Maybe going for the saves. Can they save some of their Swarm Host brethren? Yes. About half will escape persecution. A feedback comes out on possibly the most useless medevac to ever feedback. The Archons will attempt to get some shots off, but they are not the most agile of units. The Adepts are shading forward, maybe a little bit too far. They're behind the Terran army, but I'm not entirely convinced this Terran army is being flanked right now, so much as being the flanker. Nokas make it into the main. A couple production facilities have gone down. Upgrades across the board for our Zerg player, but he's invested almost entirely into Swarm Hosts, which is a risky business. Oh, another Oracle. Revelation? Death! The Templar don't have the energy yet. There's a couple storms in there. He's making the ultimate death ball. Those Forged Colossi, though. And that, I like that color on them, too. I like the teal. I like it a lot. There's some mean-looking Colossi. The Wombo combo, the Locust. He's stacking the storms. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't turn into some sort of day after tomorrow sort of superstorm. The feedbacks come out, exhaust a lot of the energy. More feedbacks will morph into Archons. There's actually not much left. The Templar are left alone. They will attempt to morph. And actually, it looks like maybe one of them will survive. And the Colossi show up to the party. Maybe a little bit late. Wings on the way forward. They have good upgrades now. The upgrades on the Terrans have never reached past 1-1. In fact, Burro Fuego has never even gotten stim or combat shields. But he does have high stock auto tracking, so we know where his priorities lie. The gold base at the back has yet to be taken. He's at 81 over 200 supply, though I don't think he ever got very close to 200 supply. The supply is once again shifting. They're almost even across the board. It's about 180 against 190. Best name ever with a lot of medevacs. This Zergling going to work. 8 kills. Make that 9. Ten. It's a Ravager now. Don't ask me how. The Marines look on with bigger things on their minds. Literally everything is bigger. It's a Zergling. Nothing. It's the smallest unit in the game, right? Yeah. It's smaller than a Locust. Everything else would be a bigger thing. Oh, well. That ended abruptly. Alright. But a pretty strong army coming out of the southern team here. IG and Shadow Dragon mustering Swarm Host, Colossi, Templar, Void Rays. Whereas Team Terran, best name ever in Burro Fuego, will be making Marines, Marauders, and Medevacs, and that is quite literally it throughout this entire match. Working on the rocks here. And Burro Fuego will contribute 1 drop into this fight. The armies are in vision range. Wait, no! Will they stem in? The scan. Is it time to go? He's going in. We go for the Colossi. There's a lot of storms. There's a lot of storms! There's a lot of storms! Somebody call FEMA! This is not a natural disaster, though. There are SCVs in the medevac. Obviously to repair the medevac, you idiots. And the game will continue. It seems best name ever. How many workers? 20 workers for Burro Fuego. He is mining off of not essentially, literally one base. One base. A single base. Just one. He started with one, and now he still has one. His teammate, a little bit more experienced, it seems, has several to his own, but he actually only has minerals at a couple. On the other side, Shadow Dragon hurting for money. 7,400 minerals for IG. He's working his way through that bank. But best name ever, going for a full Doom drop as he loads up 3 of 12 medevacs. This does not seem efficient. Okay, almost. All right. There we go. All together, instantly loading up and executing this drop. He's in the main. Is there anything to respond? A revelation will keep tabs on this army. Charge will be shut down. Wait, will he get the Templar? Will he get the Twilight Council? The Ling's going for the surround. He doesn't. But he has depowered it. Oh! Templar out of nowhere, knocking one of the full medevacs out of the sky. Multi-kill. I didn't even see that. It just disappeared. It's very satisfying to pop full medevacs. It's incredibly satisfying. It's one of my most favoritist things. Okay. It goes like, there's playing StarCraft, sick electronic dance music, Thai fried rice, your mother, and feedbacking medevacs full of Marines. Like those are the finer things. As we've reached 25 minutes in. A maxed out Terran, but he still only has Marines, Marauders, and Medevacs. If there is any reaction from the Templar, this could be devastating. The Templar need to be brought into action. The storms across the line. The stims aren't helping as well. More storms towards the north. He's just whipping them all out. They do not stack. But it makes him feel nice. Alright, the Locust coming out. More storms towards the front. These Templar racking up the kills. The Locust will buffer. The Terrans will be driven back and blown away. The Locust actually doing a lot of damage because it's 3-3 against 1-1. Neither of these Terrans figured out how to build an armory. I'm not sure where they get all their guns and bullets from. Four Broodlords. All right. 4 Broodlords with 0-0. I mean, he does have the melee upgrades for the Broodlings. But what will be the protection? The army's actually moving together. A massive Terran death ball still. 190 supply. There's not much on the other side. Are the Locusts in play? He stims forward. That's a lot. They do have extended thermal lance. The Colossi are trying to stand tall, but do they stand tall enough? One is down, and more are falling, but the Archons are buffering, and the extended thermal lances are just blasting through. The storms are helping out. Some Locusts will show up. Feedbacks as well. Locust towards the front. I take it back. Those are Broodlings. And just like that, 100 supply will evaporate. A lot of the medevacs badly bruised. And now we'll be chasing down the Broodlords in a very interesting situation. Supplies will even up very quickly. Best Name Ever has money in the bank. He can rebuild. Shadow Dragon has some. There's some more Colossi there. And finally, the siege is really starting. And +2 attack. He put his top men together to figure out how to get better upgrades. And 7 minutes in, they had their human genome project. All right, build an armory, get +2 weapons, collect your Nobel Prize, and collect your ladder points. +2 is on the way. But still, what is the answer? No units have been built. We've had a couple tanks, some Vikings on the way. Long-distance mining by Shadow Dragon. His teammate could lend him some of his 7,555 minerals. But that would just... You don't want... That would be like welfare, all right? You don't want your teammates just asking you for money all the time. Learn to make your own bases, all right? Mine your own minerals. He earned those minerals. Some ghosts in there as well. If we can get rid of the Templar, this would change a lot. A lot of Broodlords here. Some pings coming out.
Will be rewarded.
Thank you, Boba Sprite. A drop of doom. All the medevacs. The pings. He must have seen this somehow. The revelation is there. Some of these units getting dropped off a little bit outside the combat zone. Zerglings will evaporate as they're taken down. The +2 is completed. There goes the Templar Archives. That's a key. That's a key building. The Ghost is targeted by the Broodlords and will be obliterated. The main base is being gutted. He can rebuild on the outside. He has to rebuild a Twilight Count, so he's got to start from the beginning, really. The Broodlords are here, but the Broodling strike isn't, well, it appears the 5 Broodlords will be more than enough if the Infestors could catch. The long-distance mining continues. Shadow Dragon, desperate for money. This Marine having one of the worst days of his life, and also the last one. But is it time to begin the attack? The Colossi, the Void Rays, the Broodlords, and most importantly, the Templar. Well, there's also some Swarm Hosts. A ragtag group of scoundrels and thieves. There's also Infestors in the mix. If the Templar all walk into siege tanks and die, this could change everything. We'll have to see. The Templar come to the south. Where are the storms? Where are the storms? Where are the storms? Some coming out. The Fungals will have to save them in combination with the Locust. Beautiful control. He will have to save himself. Thank you, Mike Rocks. 89. 108. Only 33 supply left over for IG, but that supply is in Archon. Where are his... his probes are gone. He's down to 10 probes. How did this happen? He has money in the bank, but... It's 106. It's 140 to 130 combined supply. There's still a Colossus. There's still some Archons. The Broodlords are pushing forward. The Swarm hosts have recharged their Locusts, and they will throw them into the air. He's going for another base. He's run out of pings. This base is going down. The probe count is in single digits here for IG. Burrow Flago is only at 16 of his own. He's mining from the gold base in the back. There is the slowest base trade ever happening right now. As the rest of the probes are going to be killed off, but he still has plenty of money. They're still mining in the top right slightly. There's a single Colossus. If he's able to target that down, he's able to get underneath the Broodlords. There's still some money in the bank for best name ever. He's trying to hold on. The Archons are gone. The Medivacs are still here. The Locusts are still 20 seconds out. The Colossus dies. All he needs to do is get under that Broodlord. He's not able to pull it off. Another wave of Locusts could spell doom. 2 probes are left for IG. Shadow Dragon barely mining. He's been long distance. He's almost long distance mining out this gold. That's happening. Another wave of Locusts, but the Vikings are uncontested in the sky. The Broodlords will be forced into retreat with the Medivacs hot on their heels for unknown reasons. But wait. The Infestors. I mean, will Neural Parasite the Viking to kill the other Viking and then throw out infested Terrans in the most needlessly complicated situation I've seen in a while. Killing the Medivac, killing the Viking. What a play. The Medivac with 2 Marauders in it. It's all coming together. 122, actually about 120 supply. He can still rebuild. He's running out of gas, but he has minerals. Another Nexus falls. That's the end of mining for IG. Best name ever. He still has access to some bases, but these Swarm hosts have just, over time, he's somehow maintained a healthy Swarm host count. 2 more Colossi will join the field. Burrow Flago is at 58 supply. I'm not sure what most of it is in. The Locusts are in the main. The base is being retaken by IG, who only has 4,600 minerals left. But it's just looking like the cost efficiency of only Marines, Medivacs, and Marauders with finally Vikings is starting to run out. Back up to 100. Shadow Dragon still looking very scary, but he does, well, 36 drones is not an overwhelming number. There are several drones, very lazy drones. These Colossi are a bit ambitious. The Swarm hosts, will they be taken down beforehand? No Fungals yet. He takes down a couple of hosts. The Fungals come out. Will the Locusts be unleashed? They will. Into a pretty bruised army. He's chasing down the Hydras, maybe going a little bit too far. That will be the end of the Bio army on the ground. These Swarm hosts just seem to be unbreakable. This base will die. If only there was some way it could avoid this damage. Unfortunately, there is no way. The Hydralisks do suffice as anti-air. This is still happening. As we're starting to run out of money on all sides of this story. The map is starting to mine out. GG. Best name ever. We'll tap it out. He's done. The Swarm host, the Hydras with 3-3, too strong. Burrow Flago is only at 46 supply with no income. Will he fight it out much longer? It does seem Shadow Dragon and his sidekick, IGMP, have held on against the continued Terran onslaught. And will be able to claim another Oracle dies to a random turret. But it's about time to tap out. A round of Lings. There's still Colossi on the field. Are their faces connected to their bodies? No. There's like, they have a laser face? Laser face? Your face is connected by a laser. or some sort of beam. Where do they shoot their beams from? It's like from these things, right? Like on the sides. I don't... Anyways, Bro Fuego, I'm not sure what he's trying to do. He's producing for his teammate. Oh, wait. He typed GG. He hadn't left the game yet. All right, now we realize. Classic. And the Southern team, Shadow Dragon and IGMP, will be victorious over the Terrans in a hard-fought battle. 35 minutes. And they are your victors. What a game. What a match.